So I'm just gonna let you guys take it away for this last game. Have fun.
I'm just still laughing at your entire reaction to Golden Boy's story about slaps. I mean, Alex, you were concentrating on your story. You may not have seen Moses' reaction, but he was quite dumbfounded. He did not know what to think about that one. But we'll get straight into the action. Corey and your boy Dre get the openers. Pride responds, and it's 2 for 2.
I can totally understand why that whole reference may have gone over everyone's head, but I'll find a video and tweet it out or something. Maybe that can give some context. But the point still stands, Gaskin, that these two teams, as good as they are, have had some odd moments of coordination that have kind of fell to the wayside in favor of individual plays. And remember FaZe on Ascent, just the lack of trades was something that we were highlighting big time. There really just has been a lot of question marks.
A lot of question marks, but a lot of things that can be refined and get better in certain areas. But I think the victory is more important for 100Thieves than it is for FaZe here, which might sound strange, but I think FaZe have still got time to build, whereas I feel like 100Thieves, they're running out of time to build as a roster, as Pride does well to pick off Zachary there. Maybe Bay is going to be underneath Hell and be able to peek out, gets onto Pride, and suddenly it's a 1 versus 1. Nico is going to be down on short. Baby Bay just opts to tap it here. Now Wolfbush gets the frag. Ooh. And does he have time? Yes, he does.
Squeak right by 0.93, but he'll take those, Baby Bay. First round for FaZe, desperately needed on the pistol. Jeez. Been a bit of a, I think a slugfest, right? Like, that is just a good way to phrase this. Even the start of this one, right? A slap fight. Yeah, it's a slap fight.
Don't start him off again, please. I was crying tears of laughter at that story. It was something else.
Dude, the Bronx, I'm telling you, you guys think I'm kidding. The Bronx was crazy back then. Anyway, moving in back to the action now. Rock is getting very aggressive there, but a great play from Corey. I mean, look at the correction. Oh, and Marv had his back too. Just that course correction with the shot. Filthy.
A round that should have gone in favor of FaZe does go in favor of FaZe, but now 100Thieves are going to be able to buy up. And I mean, I'm excited to see what happens here on Haven, mainly because we missed an absolute slobber knocker earlier. As a reminder, when FaZe went up against China Win, it was a 17-15 victory for China Win on Haven that went to overtime. A little slow motion replay and a little tap a root. A couple of SMGs still on the side of FaZe, but there is an op available to them. It's going to be Raucous, but he does see people in A lobby, but he's not able to connect with it. But Corey will peek out and now can run it back. Doesn't find the second though. Maybe job done from FaZe, getting at least the opening 2 here.
That will certainly sting for Corey, who will have to use his own hot hands to give him back his health. I know he's still going to be there. Then Raucous came around the side to just support on long and get Corey out of that entanglement that he happened to find himself in. Pride's going to be outside of B. No one in here at the moment, but they will be able to get the spike down. They clear the front end of the site. An orbital strike is going to be activated as well for their Brimstone. So this could potentially be great for them. Forcing him back to your boy Dre. Now Raucous will have to work alongside Zachary here, who has managed to get to the back of the site.
That orbital strike.
Raucous cannot afford to lose this op, man. And he did. That is very, very unfortunate there. And the orbital strike just created enough disarray that allowed them to snag a few kills over at the A link, and that is the reason why they were able to get that round win.
Yeah, you usually want to save the orbital strike, try and get off-site, but there wasn't really that possibility for the Brim to get off-site, so just using it proactively in the third round is always good, because you're going to get that orbital strike back. I mean, even though it was upped with the amount of ultimate orbs you need to get the orbital strike, it's still very powerful, still somewhat easy to achieve if you've got a player who is fragging out well, getting plants, and of course picking up those orbs where available. FaZe now gonna have to try and respond to this. Just a little shoulder peek to try and gain info, and it's aggression down C long, but there's going to be a wall, and that's going to stop your boy Dre with run it back, pushing onto site.
Oh, man. Valiate. A cheeky play there. Marv pushed out. Didn't check the corner. Wasn't something you would normally expect. The Hot Hands has to delay this plant for pride. They'll get back in there again. Was that Hot Hands enough to give them some time to work with? Spike has just been planted down. Raucous, unfortunately for him, had the Blade Storm, lost the Blade Storm. Only player left is Zachary. A connection with that Sheriff, you would imagine, would have been enough, but Hiko was there to pick up the loose ends. And that will be a wrap and a tie for 100 Thieves. They've come back into this one.
Yeah, 100 Thieves just trying to get a little bit more quick with their approach towards sites now, and when you're on a 3-site map, you really can flood a site and take advantage of player advantage. It's just about picking the right site and the right time and trying to kind of avoid Cypher in some areas, trying to avoid Sage in other areas. At the moment, B site is where FaZe are most vulnerable, just looking at where they've spread themselves. We're going to see some aggression from Corey, though. Does have a flash to work with, but the flash won't connect. And instead, they're just going to retreat back onto that A site. 100 Thieves still going to be pushing this, GB. It's going to be an A split.
Yeah, they're committing hard to this one. Actually, your boy Dre has to back up. Won't get roasted from that Hot Hands. But hey, it's going to slow it down for a moment. Baby Bay stuck in that paranoia state. Corey from hell, but Baby Bay was there to back his buddy up. Another player, your boy Dre, very, very weak. Ends up paying with his life for that one. They do manage to get onto the A site. Zachary on the outside gets smoked. Whew, nice shot from Venerated. Zachary was just caught looking, staring down at the barrel, but it was Venerated who managed to pull the trigger first. Raucous was right there to back him up and bring this one into a winnable state. Now Marv pushing potentially low. He's looking at where Raucous can get another pick.
He TP'd over the trap as well. They might not know he's going to be here on short. And he does get the actual kill. Now it's a 1 versus 2, GB.
Yeah, and because of that, he actually does manage to get onto the site, but who's going to be looking there? Oh, no! Oh, no one was looking! They thought that Pride had dipped it over to the cubby on A long, but he was by the box the entire time, despite the paranoia connecting. Look at this. So these are the moments of the push when Baby Babe was playing in that left corner, and I mean, right here, this is it.
Oh,
I'm surprised that no one looked there.
Naughty, naughty boy just hiding behind the box there. Yeah, no one is there because sometimes you've got to hide in plain sight. That's kind of what it felt like there. It was a somewhat obvious spot, but got away with it, and now it means FaZe, their economy set straight back down. It's going to be a dink onto Marv, and he's going to have to call for heals from the Sage, so heals not going to be available for quite some time now. As for 100 Thieves, they're going to continue this bombardment on towards the A site. The shoulder peak will give the information of at least 2 players down A long. And that means the rotation can come through from the rest of the players who are coming from B and C.
A weakened FaZe here as far as their weapons are concerned. Baby Bay does manage to make do with what he has. 2 players have pushed forward. Venerated, along with your boy Dre, end any potential retake that would come from the defender's side. Now it's just left up to Raucous with that Sage skin on the classic. It's a nice looking gun, but unfortunately that's all it is. Just a nice looking gun, because you're effectively shooting them with cotton candy at that point. And that will be 4 rounds now for 100 Thieves. Oof. Getting a little concerned here for FaZe, but they will have guns now, Gaskin, so they can hold off this attack. But so far, these attacks from 100 Thieves have been very meticulous. You can tell that they've been putting in that time for these executes.
Well, the one thing that 100 Thieves have done is they've created that element of worry for FaZe to get too aggressive on their defensive side because the Cypher's been lurking so effectively. FaZe now have been somewhat reluctant to try and push up through C or try and push up through A because they're fearing Valiant being there. And okay, this time they've caught him out, but look at what it costs. 3 of them are at A site. Now the rest of them have to push up so quickly here to C.
Yeah, but it is Zachary and was with the wall as well as the slow orb, so they managed to delay this enough to give them a moment to get into the site. If Baby Bay does manage to get a kill here, it would be big for them. Venerated, wisely enough, backing away, didn't have the cover of the wall orb anymore to protect him. So we're kind of back over to square one. On the opposite end, 100 Thieves, no Sage means no res, so they will have to go at this with a 4v5. Corey is going to be blocked off, but Marv patiently waiting onto the side. Unfortunately, that paranoia does not connect with the targets coming up from long. He thought it was going to be coming up from the opposite end, from that sewer side. Marv still going to be there for 3. And it's just Venerated left with this operator. Has to hold on to it.
Nice little bit of information gathered both times for FaZe and just reacting well to the consistent or constant rotations from 100 Thieves. They were back and forth between A and C, but FaZe very wise to it. Now Venerated will just be wanting to hold on to this. Oh, but he's running straight into Marv, who picks up the 4th of the round, and it was a really solid hold from Marv on that A site, I've got to say. Some great phantom spray control from him. On the other side, Hiko unfortunately didn't get the shots.
It's a credit to Zachary too, though, because the wall orb was played, so walls out, right? That's going to slow them. He played 1 slow. That gave them enough time to be able to get to the rotation. And the second slow got them there right as they were ready for their push. So by that time, with all that delay on long, there was no opportunity for 100 Thieves to get into it, and they were going to be met by a ton of guns from FaZe.
I guess that's the downside of having the op on the jet, right? Is that you want the jet sometimes to dash through the slow or dash through a trap, but when they're opping, they're not going to be playing that entry role. As first pick going towards FaZe. The orb gain for Zachary, so ultimate available for him now. Run it back is going to be used by Corey.
This is a very ambitious one. More of an information gathering run it back. What you would see Drone do before he switched out of Phoenix. Was very good with that. Valiant with a connection. They kind of gave up control of the A site. Corey, though, still with the shot, and it is going to be good. A site, though, available, so the spike is in play now. Only ultimate that they would have is going to be the Jet Blade Storm available. Oh, no. Oh, no. This isn't looking good. They're going to stall this one out. And Venerated's going to continue to hit those shots with the op. Corey, a kill onto Pride with the hot hands. You still have Hiko and Venerated left alive here. Hiko's playing in long, waiting for the flank. They have to get into the site. They have no choice. Here comes a Blade Storm. And Marv is just going to be eating blades for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, depending on what time it is of the day. And this is 100 Thieves with a round win. Corey needs to just get out of there and save that op. But well done there by the Brimstone, slowing it down, and then Venerated was hitting every single shot.
100 Thieves trying to take advantage there of the faster rotations from FaZe and sending it through dud smokes towards B and sending a few, or at least just a couple of players down middle as well, just to make a little bit of noise. They forced the run it back out of Corey. And then they were able to just push onto the A site after rotation had left A site somewhat vulnerable. I mean, look at A right now. You've just got the Cypher there. And on C, you've only got the Sage. But they are two of the best characters at slowing. And well done, Hiko, for remembering how to spray through the wall. Corey, not going to be happy about that one.
Not at all. That one will certainly sting for them because he thought he was safe on that push, but instead the shots coming through that very fragile wall. Raucous down to 80 HP. The neural theft is played out now. This is going to prompt Zachary to have to rotate over to B. They see that A site is available. and they're all just going to push on over for that site. Raucus is waiting for him. Venerated on the flank, so they know that the op's going to be located on mid. Baby Bay playing this very familiar corner. Pride anticipated that one after Baby Bay was able to get that kill. Zachary needs to back away because he was concerned about what could come from this flank. But instead, it's going to be 4 members of 100 Thieves on the A site, Gasket, and they have managed to execute on this time and time again. And hard to imagine, too. It all came off of that pick from Corey, the neural theft, and then they were good to go.
Yeah, once you've got that neural theft, you've got the information, there's no one on A site, you just have to hot tail it. You have to go as fast as possible. The decision was made very quickly by 100 Thieves, and there was no hesitation once they got to the site either. Even though there was a Cypher trap and a Cyber cage up, they pushed together to ensure that they got the trades so that they could get the spike down and get the frags. And it means that 100 Thieves can take a lead here, and FaZe just having to save these weapons and accept that this is going to be a 6-3 advantage. Now, this is a lot cleaner from 100 Thieves.
Oh, no.
From what we saw previous, and yeah, you hate to see that from Zachary. That's just, I mean, that's just unfortunate. You don't expect to be hit by the spike there. I'm going to be completely honest. He's probably feeling somewhat
I will be too. Uncomfortable, actually.
No, at the time where he was stood, I mean, he was probably feeling comfortable.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'm not going to get hit by this. Now he's feeling very uncomfortable with the rest of the team saying, bro, we needed to save that weapon.
It would have been great to have that.
Yeah, there's
okay.
There's a lot of comments coming from the rest of the team now. Just unnecessary ones that don't really help the mood whatsoever.
Now Zachary have to do the same thing again. Some more stall. So the wall orb gets obliterated instantly. Venerated back into this spot again. So the difference here, they're going to use the hot hands to get onto the site. Orbital strike is going to be played. Players are going to be caught on side of the ice there. Marv, that's 2 kills for him. That's 3. But Corey actually burned his own teammate by mistake. You hate to see it. It's all right, though. They got the win. They got the win.
That's a really nice thrifty for FaZe, and yeah, it was all on Marv. I mean, almost put to bed by his own teammate, but does mean that FaZe put a 4th on the board. And just a nice confident push here. Just taking advantage of that wall being up, and then just quick reactions. And then just a nice prediction through the dark cover at the same time. 100 Thieves will be a little bit frustrated with that one, but you're always going to leave yourself somewhat vulnerable when you still push down C-Long after that much utility has been used to slow you down. The rotations would have come out.
There's a whole helping of stall that FaZe have to their advantage. As you had pointed out, the Cypher on A site, Sage on C site, prompting this potential movement. Mid looks like the play, and Raucus is waiting. Paranoia is out. And another well-timed slow orb prevents them from being able to get into the site. But while that was going on, the real activity was going to be taking place over here by A. Corey, though, was only going to be able to secure himself 1 kill. Marv, though, for another. And Raucus from up on high. A little bit of a risky gamble there, but it ended up paying off for him. Now Hiko, the LMS, in a 1v2. But Marv has been on fire, gets the headshot. So there was just a lot of great little micro plays that were happening, whether it was what was going on B, on mid, and then that full push over toward A. They just read each other both incredibly well.
Marv was the player that kind of stood out, and statistically anyway, against China Win. So it seems like it doesn't matter whether he is the first on site and holding or whether he's retaking. Just his ability and his knowledge of knowing where the opposition could or should be means that his prediction and his spray control, like everything is there for him. A great base to build from. Like I'm starting to see so much more positives about this FaZe roster the further we get into this series. It is a shame that it is going to be the end of the line for one of these teams, because like I want to see success for both rosters. One of them is going to have to come out on top here, and that's just the first hurdle of getting out of this group. China Win wait for the winner. As again, run it back going to be used in the early stages to try and get some info, but finally Venerated taking down Zachary to try and get onto this C site.
Marv is going to be located there. He gets 1, 2, no, Pride. Rockus in the backfield, though. Helps his teammates out. Double op play for Baby Bay and for Rockus. Only player left. Well, 2 players left, as a matter of fact. Now, only player left is Venerated. 40 seconds left, a 1v2. Poking onto sight, and a well-timed curveball catches Venerated without any kind of opportunity to get out of there. And we're tied up yet again. 3 in a row for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, and I wonder whether 100 Thieves just would have been a little bit better off of trying a couple of rounds without Venerated on the op. Because even though, like, he's deadly on the op, like, he does some disgusting things, I'd quite like to see him just with a rifle, entry, dash onto site, use that tailwind, like, get the support from the rest of your team, because they were being slowed so much on C, yet they were still so persistent. Round after round, they were being just bogged up on C long, but they kept going for it. And I feel like they just ran out of ideas a little bit on their attacking half, 100 Thieves. But now maybe we'll see them in a little bit more of their comfort zone, potentially, on their defensive side. But I think FaZe will be more than happy to rescue a 6-6 after losing 4 on the bounce at one point, and it looked pretty detrimental for them. Either way, shaky times.
Cyber cage. That one cyber cage gave all 3 members of 100 Thieves pause. They had no choice to actually push forward, though, because now the push is actually going to be coming in from the C side. Venerated waiting by this box. And Baby Bay's there on the rotation. He did get Valiate, so he was just lurking at the other end. Zachary does manage to get on. Hiko heard the footsteps coming. That's going to be Spike. Finally, though, will take out Hiko for the duration of this round. Last 2 players left alive is your boy Dre and Pride for 100 Thieves.
Dre's in such a good position along right now, though. I'm surprised he didn't peek aggressively onto the plant. Can flash himself out onto sight, and now he can push with it as well. And 2 snapshots from Dre. Huge round for 100 Thieves winning that pistol, because, I mean, this is so shaky now. At 6-6 after the first half, this is an elimination match in this tournament. I mean, I don't know how the contracts are going to work on the side of 100 Thieves, right? I don't know how the team is looking for the future, but I'd say after a few bad results, tournament after tournament, there are going to be questions asked. So I'd even argue in this tournament, you might see players kind of playing for their spot. Of course, that's just me speaking hypothetically.
What a shot.
But 100 Thieves, they need to step up here. I feel like they cannot afford to finish last in this group.
Yeah, you're right. The severity of it is a bigger deal for 100 Thieves because of what has already transpired in the multiple tournaments that they've participated in. But let's not forget, though, this is the FaZe Valorant Invitational, an Ignition Series event brought to you by FaZe Clan. So you know that these guys wanted to have a good showing, especially the amount of hype that was brought into it. And also, let me just talk about that nasty shot from the garage there. All right, well, now here we go. The play is going to be for inside of B, and Zachary will just do the job of a Sage main. Spike is down. No slow orb, so no stall. That one wall does break off the rest of the site, though. Valiate from the flank, actually. He's going to get tagged up significantly by Rockus, but unfortunately, it's a classic, so you're just hitting him with pebbles at that point. Marv, though, still going to be a problem, especially now that he's going to have himself a weapon. Baby Bay on the outside, 2. Nice shot there. 1 more, potentially. That player was Pride, and that's 4 for Marv. Marv is not done yet.
And this game is just back and forth constantly. Both these teams quite evenly contested, it would seem, on Haven, and 100 Thieves going to be a little bit annoyed throwing that round away. That second round, money's now going to go back in favor of FaZe, and as soon as Marv had a Bulldog in his hands, well, this round became perfectly winnable. Look at that economy for 100 Thieves. And now rifles available for FaZe too. Like, this is the start of a very, very strong attacking half for them, but it's how they build from that once the economy gets a little bit more stable for 100 Thieves, which is really going to tell us how this story is going to end.
Marv is at 19-9 right now. While Zachary is at 3-11, I do want to preface that by saying he's been doing a lot of the dirty work for this team. And most definitely on that offense or on the defense, which we saw him play a lot of those slows, a lot of those walls, and just playing the objective in general. Marv on the flank will be running into 3 members of 100 Thieves. Raucus will be there to trade for him, though. That will be the important part. And eventually, they are going to have to push this. Marv should not get too aggressive out of the gate. Does actually do so, and that is a rather questionable situation there, considering all they had to do was simply just play those angles. So now the flank is going to be exposed, but time has been wasted.
Yeah, I mean, they were never going to be pushing onto the site there. They were just purely playing for exits, and I guess Marv just trying to push through to at least push them away earlier, and if not anything else but gain information for the team so these exits can be a little bit more comfortable for them. But Dre picks himself up a Phantom. So certainly damage done to the economy. 100 Thieves did pretty well there.
Yeah, that push from Marv was kind of a question mark there. I wasn't like too keen on that one. Considering that Raucus was there to support him, he would have been the one to encounter them first, and Marv could have just swept in all the remaining kills there because those players decided to push. But they were all playing for the exit too, as you could tell.
I mean, Marv,
they were positioned.
He was 19-9. He's feeling it right now. Confidence oozing from that man. And FaZe will be hoping that doesn't dent that confidence, which it shouldn't. Now 100 Thieves back with money. So how are FaZe going to push through? Run it back going to be there. Dre gaining some information, pushing A long here. Walks straight into the bullets of FaZe.
No surprise that the Cypher was lurking. I don't believe he got any other bits of intel from that, though. Venerated will be prepared for this push. Doesn't nail the shot. There goes the rival. Run it back. Venerated needing to back away now and doesn't have many options. Only choice is to take out his classic Baby Bay right behind the run it back. Gets your boy Dre, and then there goes Marv yet again. Ever present for this FaZe Clan roster. Spike played at the tip of the site. And FaZe are in a position to win yet another round here. With Marv inside of Heaven, their only potential choices for them to push will be by this doorway. And they will be met by Corey's shots. There goes a paranoia. Marv bails out of there, so he's given up Heaven, at least for a moment.
The call's been made just to save the weapons. Hiko just seeing if he can have another little sniff. Anyone is waiting and lurking there on the site, but 100 Thieves back off. Save these weapons, but FaZe will be able to retreat off the site. They'll try and save them, but Hiko stops Marv, who again tries to deny these saves. Zachary might be able to do something late here. Can he get sprayed out through the smoke? No, he can't. Elliot was wise to it. So 100 Thieves doing very well to save those weapons. Important that they did so. Otherwise, their economy would have looked really, really rough heading into this next round. And, well, FaZe doing well to push onto the site there. I mean, of course, they had to run it back, which helped. It did do pretty well to deal with it, I've got to say, but then he had to get off of site because otherwise he was just in too much of an awkward spot just having the op. Maybe the rotations weren't quick enough from 100 Thieves, but it is very difficult to get all the way over to A site, especially when you look how heavily they are towards C, the other 3 players.
This is a kind of a change of pace, in my opinion, for FaZe. They are doing a better job of trading for each other. That last play too, right? They ran it back, and then who was there to back him up was Baby Bay. He was just pushed forward. He did his job. He got them onto the site. He lurked. So I think that was, maybe we're starting to see this roster just kind of click a little bit more with each passing round, and it's only going to get scarier and scarier for the opposition.
100 Thieves very much just playing retake at the moment. As soon as they heard any noise towards C, they instantly got off of that site, waiting to make this a 5 versus 5. And seeing if they can be more successful with a retake. It's very different from what we saw. I mean, on the side of FaZe, you saw all the slows, you saw the wall came out, and 100 Thieves really struggled to put it onto the site. whereas it's just been almost gifted to FaZe at this point.
I think this also boils down too to the composition, right? They don't really have any chances to be able to stall them out. And that causes a ton of problems for them, because when they want to try and prevent them from taking C site, I mean, what was just like a dark cover? Sure, you could work around a paranoia potentially. But on a 3-site map like this, players are just going to be scattered all about. So you'll have to invest significantly into that. And what happens if that doesn't go through? Like, think about that last defensive round for FaZe. Zachary did everything in his power to just prevent them from getting onto the site, because that is the Sage's job, to slow down that push. And without that one agent on Haven, I know that we're seeing more Sageless comps on Haven. It's not just something that you'll see done on Ascent now. People are starting to run a little bit more. But I will say that could maybe be one of the weaknesses of this particular composition, and why they're having a hard time being able to prevent them from getting onto sites quickly.
Certainly when it was like a half buy as well, and there were shorties all round, it's not as difficult to take those fights, especially long range down C long. 10-7, and I mean, it's time to clutch up for both of these teams. And a question I'd have is, what's more important? Not going out first when it's the FaZe Invitational and it's the first real demonstration of what this new FaZe roster has to offer, or 100 Thieves, who have struggled tournament after tournament and they've got progressively worse in terms of their results. I mean, the stats are there. That's not even me laying into them. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the 100 Thieves roster, but they just have not been performing maybe to the levels that people would have expected them to, and they're going to need to change things up, and it has to start with this round, Alex. This is a big round, and there are two big frags to start things off. Pride and Venerated are doing a job.
Well
and
done.
They have held strong on A site.
Yeah, very well done. Now just Raucus alone with an no real options to be able to bail from this, because he's completely surrounded. Eventually, these players can either make their way down through the sewer, or they could just wait for Raucus to move here, because eventually it's going to have to happen. Ooh. Yeah, no, that just simply won't work.
What's happening?
Okay, sure. Well, it was gonna end eventually. It was just a matter of when. in that moment in time.
Jet's so annoying. Just dashing everywhere, just upsetting everyone. No one wanted to be involved in that process. But it was finished finally. 10-8, and it was a big round for 100 Thieves, and it was a stronghold on towards A site. Venerated did well with the off, and then Pride was there.
Yeah, the double stack on long was a great call for them too, because they haven't done that yet. So tossing in different looks when we're getting this close into it is quite scary. And also getting a first blood, that's nice. Now they will have a res, which they do need to bring Zachary in to get him back into the fight. I have to clear this too.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Venerated, honestly, is just on form with this op at the moment, making things very difficult for FaZe. And I know that the score wasn't looking great, but 100 Thieves now with their money getting better means more consistent ops round after round for Venerated.
That was fantastic there too. Now, the only concern that I have for 100 Thieves is that Marv is still alive. That's just how good he's been. Venerated is going to be coming from inside of the garage. All three players, excuse me, are going to be located on the site. 4 players left alive for 100 Thieves. They got a lot of value in this round, mind you. They were able to take out the res. They were able to take out 2 players. Some kills are going to be traded. Venerated's going to be coming through the garage now, but Zachary, nice shot from him. It's going to boil down just a 1v2. And they both peaked at the same time. Pride was unscathed in that exchange. And they're within spitting distance of tying this game up against FaZe.
FaZe economy is going to start to get progressively worse now at this point. Start to allow 100 Thieves back into this game. And as I say, Venerated on the op round after round is going to be even tougher for FaZe to try and break through. FaZe took advantage of the early rounds where Venerated didn't have the op to work with. But now they need to find a way to consistently get onto sites without being picked away one by one. Maybe like facing Venerated and like taking an op battle is not the way forward here. Pistols for 3 members of FaZe and 2 rifles, but all available for Jet, and it is going to be used by Raucus. Well, they know someone's on short though.
Well, they know that the moment that there's any kind of movement, Cyber Cage is going to be popped. They don't quite know that they're going to be located on short. They're actually, it goes, oh, well done by Raucus. He's looking to get up top. Does he tag up Venerated? Doesn't end up landing any of those blades against Venerated, but that was just brilliantly done. The paranoia timed with the swoop in and the blades. That's exactly what I was hoping for with that Omen Jet combination.
It was something that FaZe tried defensively on Ascent earlier, and it didn't really work out. But offensively, I mean, it's way more practical, a way better idea. Less risk about it as well. Especially in a round where they didn't have much money, but your boy Dre maybe can do something for Raucus with a 3rd. He's done so much this round, but can't get the 4th. And it's Hiko against Marv, and also second player that is going to be available for him. He's got to do so much, but Zachary was under hell. And FaZe will take an 11-9 lead with what was a weak buy, Golden Boy. It was really
they had what, 2 Phantoms, 2 Sheriffs, and I think a Ghost or something like that. This was the play right here. Paranoia out, and then Raucus doesn't hit these shots. This round's complexion changes dramatically.
Oh, that knife makes a nice sound. I wish they wouldn't advertise that, because now I want to buy it. I've resisted for so long, Alex.
I've been holding on to my points for like a while now. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it, but then I was just like, maybe I'll just wait it out, you know.
We'll wait for
a discount. Wait for it to go on sale.
Wait for the next one. Baby May gets the opener onto Valiant. Caught off guard, pushing up. Marv tries to get a little bit of info with the TP. And we'll see run it back now as several members starting to go towards A site. And your boy Dre is going to be able to at least gain the info. And the teleport onto site gets caught out by Pride.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, and this round is starting to crumble. A Cyber Cage prevents them from being able to move. Ooh, okay. Zachary, though, a defensive play there to keep his teammate alive. So your boy Dre's out of the fight. Raucus waiting on the rotation for anyone, and there could be the Brimstone that pushes forward. The rest of FaZe are going to just go over maybe toward B, but I think they actually opted to just hold on to this for a moment. The problem is, Gaskin, they don't have a lot of time left. 28 seconds remaining. They have to make some moves.
B or C here, of course. Could opt to go through Garage for C. They want to try and avoid any Cypher traps, so they need to use their knowledge to their best ability, and it is going to be a quick push through Garage, so it's going to be all down to Hiko here. Could potentially win this round if he can get a big deny on the plant. Finds the first, looks for the second. Can go through the smoke. Can he deny the plant? No, he can't. That could have been huge for him, but not able to get the spray. He was just a little bit too high, and now it's a 2 versus 3 retake. And Venerated has an op, and retaking this site is not easy, and they might have to back off and just accept that it's overtime or nothing. But maybe a call from the IGL to say, actually, we need to go for this, guys.
Play it out. One going to be located at Wood. Zachary traded it out. Zachary, this round, it has been his round. Like, without any question. The res play for defending him on your boy Dre, who had the angle on Heaven. The just holding on to the plant despite Hiko was lurking around that that smoke from Jet. And then also that kill to kind of end any attempt at a push and retake. But they will get the op, but it is now going to be match point for FaZe.
My. I mean, after the first match where 100Thieves kind of showed FaZe up a little bit on Ascent. Like, it looked very one-sided. A lot of questions were being asked. And then FaZe responded really well, and they've just gone from strength to strength. They've started to gel a little bit more, started to look more like an actual squad, rather than just 5 people running about trying to piece things together. And as you say, 1 round away now from surviving in this tournament. The winner of this game still has to face off against China Win to gain a position into the playoffs, but loser is out and will finish rock bottom of this group. Big round here for 100 Thieves.
FaZe already played China Win, and that was a 2-0 in favor of them, which also was a crazy OT game. Valiate will have an angle with this camera. It's been out for a while now, so they will poke it and then see it. There goes the wall that's out. It's actually going to be on the opposite side, and they're going to charge right into him. Marv is going to hit him with a clothesline, taking him out. Now they'll have that man advantage. Spike will be down. Hiko on the outside. Venerated's also going to be banged up quite a bit, needing to bail out and go over to the defensive side of the map. This is it for 100 Thieves. Raucus. Oh, Raucus. What a great shot there. Baby Bay got a little aggressive, tried to go in for that pick, ended up not working out for him. Raucus as well had to bail out with the tailwind, did not die there. Had he died, this round maybe could be going for 100 Thieves, but Venerated keeps on putting together some shots. Corey at the back of the gong, he's going to be good for one. Raucus gets a kill outside, and FaZe Clan stay alive in this competition. 100 Thieves are